Gotta get your riff those tracks. I don't have a big tracks, better riffs I'm missing. Why you always gotta pick riff tracks? It's your lucky day, it's time for riff tracks.
Hello, I'm Faith, and welcome to Faith's Take, where I talk about anything and everything that I find interesting. And welcome to episode 9 of my series, Every Riff Track Short Reviewed, where I take 5 riff track shorts in chronological order and give them a rating between 1 and 5. The points being good, great, awesome, fantastic, and spectacular, since I don't think a bad riff track short exists. Why am I doing just voiceover once again? Well, I thought I finally factored in the time right this week until I ended up having an eye exam and a birthday party to go to on the same day. So again, cutting things for time. And before we get into this, I just wanted to say that I just hit 50 subscribers on Monday night. Thank you all so much. This has been such a fun ride, and I'm glad you all want to come along with me. And with that, let's get into episode 9 of Every Riff Track Short Reviewed. Number 41, Cooking Terms and What They Mean, for May 1st, 2009.
Sometime during your career as a cook, you'll decide to serve scalloped cauliflower. This involves even more terms.
Such as, why the hell did you make scalloped cauliflower?
Are you a young woman starting your married life? Then you need to learn how to cook up some delicious dishes for your man, and fast. What's that? You don't even know how to stir something? Well, you're in luck. This patronizing narrator is here to help.
What would he like for dinner? He just loves chocolate cake. Go ahead, try one. All you have to do is follow the recipe.
Or are your cooking skills no better than your judgment in husbands?
Other cuts of meat might be cooked by braising.
Learning to braise is an important step towards being taken for granted as a wife and a mother.
Cream butter until soft and smooth. Cream the butter? Better get the cream.
This narrator seems deeply invested in her failure.
In making a frosting for that same cake, you may boil a sugar syrup. To boil is to cook at such a temperature that bubbles rise continuously and break on the surface.
Should a person who doesn't know what boil means even be allowed near an open flame?
Add water and cook by simmering.
While it simmers, take the time to ponder whether you will ever truly be happy.
And turning over repeatedly by sliding the instrument along the bottom of the bowl.
The instrument should be from the woodwind family.
Be sure to brown the meat on both sides.
Sides refers to the exposed parts on the top and bottom. Bottom refers to...
Okay.
The third step. This is performed by adding a few drops of the substance to very cold water.
Water is a transparent, odorless, tasteless substance.
But wait a minute.
A minute is a unit of time, measured in the...
All right.
Seriously, what is up with the overly sexist and disdainful tone of this short? I mean, the protagonist of a short being an absolute moron is usually a given, but the narrator being this condescending? I think someone at Centron has some deep-seated issues to work out.
That's right. Pour it in. The recipe says cream the butter, so put in lots of cream.
That's right. Ruin the cake, just like every woman I've ever known has ruined my life.
Silky smooth. A marinade is an oil-acid mixture, which is usually a kind of salad dressing.
And salad dressing is why Margie won't be able to fit into her wedding dress in 6 months.
Roast and bake mean the same thing. To cook by dry heat.
Speaking of dry, consider a break to bring your husband a martini.
No, Margie, your cake didn't turn out so well because you misunderstood a term in your cookbook.
I hate you.
To cream butter merely means to work it with an instrument until it becomes soft and smooth.
Now, is that clear, or would you like to douse it in cream again, you empty-headed bint?
These are only a few of the terms you will have to use and understand. How can you learn the others?
It's impossible.
Most good cook, the jellying stage is reached.
But don't rely on your judgment. Ask a knowledgeable man to verify.
Would she know what to do?
Straight to the fridge for the cream again.
With an over-the-top narrator, ridiculously simple instructions, and some hilarious riffs to tie it all together, this one gets a 5 out of 5.
Remember, ladies, there are no truly bad cooks.
Only younger, prettier women.
Good night.
Number 42, What About Juvenile Delinquency, from May 5th, 2009.
Better take this back, Jamie.
We didn't know it was your dad, Jamie.
We wouldn't have done it if we'd known.
Leave me alone. Take it, Jamie. You keep it.
Nobody leaves our club. Well, Dan left on pretty good terms, too. So did Rick when he got that job at the bakery.
Oh, and Tommy.
Oh, right, Tommy. We even helped him move. But otherwise, nobody leaves our club.
Here we see the tale of Jamie, a poor kid whose hoodlum friends beat the tar out of his father for really no reason whatsoever. While the friends didn't know that it was his dad and try to apologize to Jamie, he's not having any of it. And he and a few friends that aren't hoodlums go to the city council to see what they can do to take juvenile delinquency down.
Then they head to the local H&R Block for an evening of wild fun.
Let's review the hell out of our itemizations.
We just swarmed all over a guy. Fell out of his pocket. What? When did this happen? Just before we picked you up. We bumped some guy in a big building.
They're used to the close proximity because they were once conjoined triplets.
We should...
Dry martini, is that you?
Jamie.
I'm sorry, Dad.
But I really need the couch. Kid's gone. Now! As a matter of your notes from our last meeting, Mr. Former Interim Secretary. Go ahead, try and wedgie me. The joke will be on you when you discover that I have already wet my pants.
We're all going to suffer for it.
What we need is a scapegoat to take our sins and be sent into the desert.
Yeah!
I'll go with you.
You're not going anywhere.
Cheese it, it's Orville Redenbacher.
Don't make me rain down on you like a thunderstorm of fists and roundhouse kicks, because you will beg for your own death. Scram.
We're not talking about pranks and letting off steam. We're talking about criminal acts of violence.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
This short was actually covered way back on Mystery Science Theater in episode 518, The Atomic Brain. This is the first example of the RiffTrex crew covering something originally done on MST. I find this to be a very interesting choice to be the first one they take a crack at, seeing how most of the MST entries they redo in the future were pretty iconic for the show. And did anyone see this short as a big deal for Mystery Science? Because I sure didn't.
I wouldn't advise any of you to go to that meeting if I were you. I'm warning you.
I've had the coffee there. It tastes like it was filtered through Dr. Scholl's inserts.
What do you have, boys? I'll write your orders with my new pencil. Hey, those are great. My dad's got one just like it. Where'd you get it?
My dad killed a bum to get his.
Don't you have any homework, Jamie?
I told you no.
Sounds like the Tin Man.
As soon as the guys come by and get
no.
He's no sap.
Actually, he's student body president of the SAP Council.
Students came to me today. I asked them if they'd be willing to come down here and put their case before you.
You, the distinguished anonymous rabble.
If these teenagers, who represent all of the rest, have the courage to come here, then I think we should not only listen to them, but I think we should invite them to help us stamp out this vandalism.
Why are you yelling?
We don't want to punish all teenagers for the trouble a few are causing, but something has to be done.
So please come with us to the internment camps.
While the riffs here are good, I think the Mystery Science version really outshines this one, and the RiffTrex take on it gets a 1.5 out of 5.
Remember, confine your beating of bald guys only to those who absolutely deserve it. Good night.
Number 43, Snap Out of It, from May 8th, 2009.
Snap out of it.
But I'm in a good mood. I'm feeling great.
Snap the hell out of it.
Okay.
Way back in the very first episode of this series, we saw the short Act Your Age about teens having infantile reactions and how they can start behaving like adults instead of whiny babies. Now we're doing this all over again, and we even have the same principle to guide us.
But here's a boy who doesn't seem concerned. In fact, he doesn't look as though he could be upset by anything.
He's on lithium.
Your grades must have disappointed you quite a bit. Are they so bad?
I got a D in male sexuality.
Why should anybody be upset about getting a better grade than he did before?
What the hell's wrong with people anyway?
I worked for an A, and I should have gotten one.
I put A for every answer on the test.
Howard, there's a very familiar pattern of behavior there.
I'm afraid I've got to knock you around now.
I haven't been able to study or do much of anything.
Like feed the dog, God rest his soul.
You've tried blaming the teacher.
You tried blaming God.
Now he should do the honorable thing.
Forge his parents' signature.
Of course.
Yes. And return the card to me when you've had it signed.
Or tomorrow I take a thumb.
Thanks, Mr. Edmonds.
Oh, send in that kid from Act Your Age on the way out.
While the first short focused on changing your attitude and actions, in this short we see that we should just emotionally detach ourselves from any situations. If you get emotionally involved, you're just doomed to fail because you'll never achieve perfection. But don't worry about perfection, all you need to do is stop caring.
Stop peering into my soul.
Let me try to give you an example of this pattern of emotional upsets.
That we call life.
You mean I shouldn't try for an A?
God, I need a drink.
No,
So disappointed that he suffered an emotional upset.
He sliced off his ear.
He raged and stormed.
But that's childish.
Well, he wanted a wowie pop.
It was an infant. It's one thing to set high goals for yourself,
which you should probably avoid.
Quite enough. You channel your emotional energy into a direct attack on your problem.
Kill your problem.
Kill it dead.
But I had every right to expect an A.
As always, Robert, you disgust me beyond any measure.
Sometimes you expect things that can't possibly happen, so you're sure to be disappointed.
Ah, you're a Mariners fan.
And you try for a lot, but you don't count on it.
Well, now you're talking like a Cubs fan.
Tomorrow, for sure.
Better be sure, Howard.
If you love your family.
Maybe next time.
I'll try. I'll really try.
At least I'll say I'll try.
A lesson in learning to accept your own mediocrity, this entry gets a 3 out of 5.
Remember, strive to be mediocre, but don't bother anyone when you fail.
Number 44, Toward Emotional Maturity, from May 12th, 2009.
Loving others and being loved is a good feeling. A feeling everyone wants to share.
However, feeling others can lead to trouble, so be careful who you feel.
Do you let your emotions get the best of you? Well, this short isn't really going to help you at all. All it does is show us several situations where our emotions can take over and that acting on those emotions is silly. However, it doesn't teach us how to keep from letting our emotions get the best of us.
Let's go to Mountain Park for a while and look at the moon.
Become lichens and feast on the living.
We've all read about Bluebeard's Closet and Pandora's Box.
And Dawson's Creek.
Most of us know.
Why didn't you, Sally?
And why are you palming a gun?
Because the mutual love and respect you all share and take for granted.
Except for Uncle Tad's, which you could do without.
But now jealousy had swept away your common sense.
You began to stuff Cheetos in your underwear.
You are wondering what today's lesson will be about.
It's about keeping secrets, so I'm not telling.
You sure you won't mind?
Of course I mind.
Come on, I'm a teenage boy. I'm nothing but hormones in a sport coat. Add liquor, suddenly I'm Kid Rock.
When you found out how uncontrollable and intense emotion can be.
My God, it's blind, uncontrollable rage.
And then caught control of yourself.
And then stabbed her through the heart.
And even now you wince when you think of it.
But you'll be damned if you'll apologize.
No, you hoped Hank never found out what a fool your emotions had made of you.
But Mother had already called Hank and told him.
You never want to feel that way again, Sally.
So now you're on Valium.
It wasn't easy.
Well, most of the situations here are more common, being jealous of another woman with your boyfriend, losing at your favorite sport, etc. The craziest part is when it shows mob mentality in action.
No, look, her Druid youth group just got a little carried away.
Then there was the night your schoolmates shared a different, ugly emotion. Hate.
Well, human sacrifice does bring that out in people sometimes.
You were amazed to see sudden impulses rob normally decent people of their values.
It's more like a badly organized game of Red Rover.
The excitement about the coming game built up to a frenzy of enthusiasm.
Who are we playing?
Who cares? Burn stuff!
As a stone smashed the window, you saw how hysteria turns individuals into a mob.
No one remembers who started handing out the hoods and the torches.
If you can descend into madness in less than 10 minutes, a short's not going to help you get over that. This overall useless short gets a 2.5 out of 5.
By bringing calm reasoning to emotional questions,
nobody likes you.
Your decisions will be what you really want them to be.
They may be terrible, stupid decisions, but doggone it, they're yours.
Number 45, Alcohol Trigger Films, from May 22nd, 2009. A couple of weeks ago, we saw As We Like It, which showed us how beer is basically a miracle worker. But did you know alcohol can be bad? Because alcohol can be really bad. It can cause you and your friends to raid the kitchen cabinets for liquor, your parents to embarrass you in front of your friends, and you and your cousins sitting and chatting on a baseball field.
Hey, want a beer?
Sure. You buy it around here?
Right in there.
Just pistol whip the clerk, he'll sell to you, too.
Hey guys, we're all out of beer!
Moving on to turpentine, then.
Nobody complimenting you? It looks fabulous.
So her mom is an enthusiastic gay man, so what?
See, heavy drinking helps me hit the ball.
And since this is the late 70s, an episode of Welcome Back, Kotter spontaneously breaks out.
Hey, Susan!
Her pants are shouting even louder.
You see, me and him went to this concert.
It was up with people. It was freaking awesome.
Drink up, man. We got 2 six-packs to kill.
And then after that, a whole bunch of hobos.
Hi, kids.
They have the friendliest drug dealer at this school.
Look inside there. Over there. All right.
Extra virgin olive oil. All right.
I hope I didn't keep you too long in the rain.
Help yourself to anything in the backseat bar, kids. I just made a nice and garnish run.
Now, because it rained on it, but it was terrific this morning.
I noticed it when I was pouring the gin on my Cheerios.
Supreme, I'm telling you. He missed half.
There, this will get the red out of your hair.
Hey, how's your mother, Susan?
She's in traction, ma'am. You ran her over last week.
Well, the kids are definitely being stupid and should not be drinking underage. The really bad one is the mother. She's so drunk when she picks up her daughter and her friend from school that it is incredibly dangerous. But the worst part of this whole short is the fact that none of the stories actually get endings or morals or anything. They just stop mid-storyline.
I'm sorry, are we supposed to think that this mother's behavior is untoward in some way? Because I find her delightful. Her relaxed, easy style will now be a role model for my parenting. And my drinking.
You know, I'm going to go against conventional wisdom and say that the moral of the story is don't be an uptight jerk when your friends are trying to party at your parents' house.
Well, presumably they all died and entered a black eternal void. Us too!
Help.
Hello?
Void.
Judy, Mark, Mom, and Spike cocktail deep into the night, forging a deep and lasting bond right up until their fatal car crash 15 minutes later.
Oh, dear.
The end.
An unfinished short that doesn't even tell you what to do in the end. This unhelpful entry gets a 3.5 out of 5.
So that's it? Nothing to tie the 3 stories together?
Not even Hitman John Travolta getting killed and coming back to life again in Act 3?
Not even Tim Roth as a wacky bellboy?
I guess it's just booze that ties things together. But that's true of life, too, isn't it?
Yes. Remember to drink, kids.
Bye-bye now.
As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. Thanks again for getting me to 50 subscribers, and I will see you guys later.